Hello, I'm Kevin Grimes, CEO of Grimes and Company, and I'm here today with another installment of the Bitcoin Diaries. Remember, this is not investment advice. This is simply a periodic blog that's looking to evaluate the attractiveness of Bitcoin for long-term investors that might be considering when are attractive times to add to this very risky asset. Please take time to read the disclosures at the end. Little background, in case this segment is new to you, we'll focus on a couple key studies that'll help us with our attempt to discover exactly what's going on in Bitcoin. We will be looking at price trends. Is Bitcoin in general rising or falling? We'll also look at a proprietary cycle study, trying to discover could there be a short-term top or short-term bottom upcoming for this asset. We'll also look at some very traditional technical analysis studies, including relative strength indicator, RSI, which is available in basically any charting program. We'll look at moving averages. We'll look at trading ranges, normal distribution ranges, all things that are defined in another video and an accompanying segment that can describe some of these studies in greater detail. It's available to you on our website. So without further ado, let me share my screen. Okay. As a quick reminder, our last installment of the Bitcoin Diaries was on May 7th. So let me draw that in just to put some context to kind of what's happened since then, because it's been interesting. So that's right here. So that vertical blue line I just put on the chart, that was when our last Bitcoin Diaries was published. At that point in time, we reduced the attractiveness of Bitcoin from a 6 to a 5. Remember, this is a 7-point scale with 4 being the midpoint or neutral. So 5, 6, and 7 are positive. We reduced it from a 6 to a 5. And the reason being was that this study right here that I'm highlighting, this is our cycle study, and it was indicating that there could be a potential top for Bitcoin coming in the short run. And we also had elevated RSI readings over 70 at that point. 70 is traditionally associated with an overbought condition. So for those reasons, we reduced Bitcoin from a score of 6 to a score of 5. And so what has transpired since then? So since that May 7th timeframe, Bitcoin actually has declined a bit. It's declined about 8%. So from May 7th to today, it's declined about 8%. That's a negative strike. Also, our trend study here in yellow, the middle study here I'm highlighting, that has rolled over, at least in the short run, and is now in the negatives, reflecting that downward move in Bitcoin. So those are the two negative aspects of Bitcoin today, but there is some positivity. And so I'll highlight that right now. Really, the positive aspects of Bitcoin come from some of the more technical analysis out there. So I've drawn in this trading range, this normal distribution from the low on February 5th till today. And you can see that while Bitcoin is at the very low end of this distribution range, it's still in the range. And so for now, that's a positive sign. It's at the low end of the range. If it can recover from here, that would actually be, I think, fairly bullish. And also, from a mathematical perspective, a lot of times we'll look at retracement analysis. We'll use Fibonacci levels. You can read about Fibonacci. I'm not going to give a full description here, but there are some key ratios that are very important. The most important ratio is 61.8% or 0.618. And so I've drawn in this range from the bottom, again, set in February to the top. And the retracement level, the 0.618 retracement level, you can see right here, is sitting at a level of 70,239. So 70, 239. So that is another key level. So Bitcoin right now has declined from a top, from an overbought condition. It's still in the game. It's still in the range, and it's still above its retracement level. For those reasons, we are leaving Bitcoin at a slightly positive rating of 5. Now, if these levels are violated, we're going to lower Bitcoin probably at least to neutral, if not a negative score. We'll make that determination at that time. If Bitcoin rallies from here, and it seems like there is a reasonable chance of that, then we will reflect that positivity by raising Bitcoin from a 5 to a 6 or maybe a 7. Who knows? So as we stand today, slightly positive, off 8%. 8% is a big move, kind of, not really for Bitcoin, but it is interesting. We're at an inflection point right now. We were also at an inflection point a month ago, and we correctly identified that. We will see if these levels hold and if indeed Bitcoin can rally from here. And if it can, we would expect that that we would maybe have an opportunity to travel to the high end of that distribution range. But we'll assess that at that point in time. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So there you have it, folks. Bitcoin slightly positive, down 8% from its recent highs, still in the game with a lot of technical analysis at an interesting point where it could turn around and rally from here. Also at an interesting point because if it breaks down from here, that would make us long-term investors probably they wouldn't want to see that, make them sad. So we'll see what we get and tune in next time to see what happened and to get the next installment of Bitcoin Diaries. If you are interested in advice for you as to what to do for Bitcoin, how Bitcoin might fit into your portfolio or any other portfolio or financial planning, wealth management, tax, estate type questions, don't hesitate. Reach out to one of our financial advisors. You can do it on the website. I would be happy to talk with you and go through things with you. We can connect you also to our investment team. So take the time to read the disclosures. Bitcoin's really risky. We're at an interesting point in time. We'll see what happens from here. Tune in next time. Thank you very much.